Got an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
I'm not you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the best nightmare you've ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
There we go. What is up? How have you been?
Oh, it's been such a long time. I've been busy.
Know, it's like
I was trying to get on, but I was like, today finally.
It feels good. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, it feels really good. I was like, we haven't talked about spooky stuff in a while. I need that outlet.
It's true. It really does help.
Yeah.
But today, I don't know if it's so much spooky. A little bit. It gets a little weird in there, a little spooky.
Well, it is about murder.
Yeah.
And it does have that 70s feel about like those exploitation films, and it's like Satanic Panic.
Oh yeah, it's got some good moments in there of you're right, like 70s, the Wickerman and Suspiria. I think you brought up Suspiria.
I thought it was gonna be like Suspiria because like that movie's in my top 3, the 70s version, not the new one because I haven't seen it, but I thought it was gonna be like that. But I'm kind of glad it was something different because like I had no idea going in, and like seeing the same thing over and over. I guess it's bad, but I have to say it was stunning to look at. It wasn't my favorite film, but it was so beautiful to look at because like I feel like the storyline kind of like went dead. It was a little dull, but then I learned that the director, she did everything. She did fucking everything. She did like she produced it, she wrote it, she directed it, she did the setting, the wardrobe, and it took her years to get the sets the way they look, and it shows. So I can't blame her that the storyline kind of fell through when she was doing all of these things that me as an actress, like sometimes all I have to do is wait there and then get called, and sometimes I'm tired. I'm like,
Man, we're talking about Anna Biller, by the way, for those who don't know. This movie is written, directed, produced, everything pretty much. Like this is like, I'm assuming this is like her baby, kind of like passion project that she did. And I think you might be right. The story kind of gets a little bit redundant in parts.
It's 2 hours, you guys. It's 2 hours long. I had no idea. I told my kid, I was like, this was a blind pick. I had no idea. I didn't want to read anything about it, but TikTok, like I saw some of the like they'll put little videos or pictures, and it looks stunning. It looks so beautiful. Like the woman who plays the witch, Elaine, the main character, is a stunning woman. Like she is gorgeous to look at, just like the close-ups of her face.
Oh yeah, she is the definition of a love witch. She's gorgeous. She looks way different, like without makeup,
in real life.
Yeah, but not in a bad way. Like she's gorgeous with or without makeup.
Yeah, I think it's just like the magic how I think different looks look different on different people, but the 60s look on her looked so stunning. The blue eyeshadow, like I can see that being a Halloween costume.
Oh yeah, I think because she's been in a couple of things. I want to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably the biggest one she's done.
But I don't remember her in that one. Do you?
Do you remember she was Abigail Folger. So she was the Folgers heiress. which is in real life, that's who died in the house. The with Tate, with what's her name? The daughter to the Folger company. It's just crazy to think about how much that whole situation changed stuff. But Samantha Robertson, the actress, has been working steadily for like the last decade in so many different things, TV, movies, shorts, just everything she can do to kind of build up, along with Anna. So these two really incredible women in the industry came together to make something I was not expecting. Like the first well, let's go into it. Let's go in from the beginning so we can kind of because this is a pretty straightforward storyline, but I think it deserves to be told.
I do have a theory about it. I don't know if you have theories, but I have a theory because a lot of people were saying this is a movie about feminism, and I don't agree on that. And there's nothing wrong with the movie not being about that, but I have my theory of why things are like that. But Elaine lost her husband, and she's on her way to San Francisco, I think.
I think she just left San Francisco. The new apartment's in a new place. Yeah.
And she meets this woman, Trish. She's getting the apartment from her, and they become friends.
And, Trish is a bit more traditional, I would say.
No, less traditional, because she's telling Elaine, what's your thoughts? Elaine wants to be married and have the love of her life. She doesn't really care about anything else. And Trish is you're brainwashed by the patriarchy.
Oh, that's true. Huh? Their first tea meeting, which threw me off. The tea house was awesome.
It was gorgeous, and men are not allowed in it.
I like tea, whatever.
You're I want to see beautiful women and drink tea.
What do you call it? I mean, tea and cake. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm not crying.
The director was even in charge of decorating the cakes and stuff like that. There was so much attention to detail to this film. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think people don't understand that everything that you see on camera, especially when it's all practical, has to be created. If they need a specific wardrobe, they had a lot in this movie, or specific.
It took her years.
It shows too how well it was all made, because it didn't look like props. It looked like something you would wear to a Renaissance in certain spots, or to a themed restaurant like that. If you're going to a Victorian themed tea house, those are perfect outfits.
Yes, it was perfection. I was so impressed about. I think I like this movie more how it looked than watching a movie.
Oh heck yeah! There's another one like that. Yeah, there's one called the Beyond the Black Rainbow. If you have a chance
to see that.
It is the story is a little, again, it's a little wobbly, but the visuals are so perfect. I don't even care. I'm just staring at a screen because it's so beautiful right now.
It was I don't know. It was just so beautiful to look at. Everything was stunning. There was nothing ugly in it, even though it was about witchcrafts, and there's nudity in it. But would you enter a coven?
Yes. Depends on the situation. If you stumbled into that, for instance, later on when the sergeant kind of they go on that date where they're riding horses, and then all of a sudden they're at the Renaissance.
That was that looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Which I found out. Oh, well, I'm jumping ahead. I'll get to that when we get to the Renaissance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
There's something I found out, but Elaine is really obsessed about getting a man and being loved.
Yeah, and it's a very specific love. She wants that, because they talk about in the movie too, how men and women should be a bit polar opposites of each other, which makes us all at the same time equal to each other, because we have our own stuff in different ways.
I think it's true, because for me, the men I'm attracted to are very they're very manly. And I think because I lack that, I like being protected. So I kind of understood where she's coming from, and there's nothing wrong if you're more into a sensitive guy. Because the first victim, the first man she meets, it's this hippie school teacher. Yeah. He looks when I first saw him, I thought he could be the man from, what is it, Brawny? The paper towel?
Yeah, the cover, the
Yeah, like
character. Yeah,
he could be that guy, but then like
yeah.
they get together, and I like the reverse of that scene, the reverse of a date rape scene, because I think it is. Well, he did agree to it, but she did drug him to have sex
I
with
mean,
him.
he was into it from the beginning. So whatever she gave him, I don't know. I
It
think,
was vodka, blueberry, and then the devil's weed.
yeah. So hallucinogens, right?
Yes, because I was like, ooh, vodka, because like that's my favorite, and blueberries. So I was like, that
Like
sounds pretty
blueberries.
good. And then I was like, the devil's weed. I was like, fuck,
I'm like, whoa, that's a
maybe
little too
not.
much.
That's too much. So after they make love, he becomes the opposite of the man she met, which was
Yeah.
interesting. I did not see that coming.
It was intense how much he was like. He even says it himself. He feels too much, and it's making him sick. And I
Yeah.
thought, like, okay, not to that extent, but I think we've all had that one person who's like, they make me feel so much that it kind of hurts. I
Yeah.
care about this person too much, and you shouldn't have to feel that way. But at the same time, it's just, I think, a natural part of discovering yourself, and discovering how that emotion will affect you. And it's like, that's a pretty good representation, even though it's like over the top, sure. But I guess if I was also on hallucinogens and falling in love with someone, I'd probably act the same way.
I think so too, because like just being drunk, I think it brings out like all the emotions you have buried inside. And then plus like the hallucinogens.
Too much.
And then
Too
plus
much.
like when you have sex, like the hormones in your body change. So like all of these things combined.
Oh, heck yeah. Like, I remember, okay, maybe not. There's a story for another day. Never mind.
No, I want to hear it.
There's a girl, and we're, obviously afterwards in the same situation, and she says, I love you. And I'm like, yeah, I love you too. It's like, wait a minute. Oh,
Wait,
I don't know if I
after or
meant that.
during?
Yeah. Afterwards, like I was leaving the room because we were getting ready for the day, and I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Because I was
Oh
like,
my God, that's horrible. I feel bad
oh,
for her, but I mean, it's bad in both situations because
yeah.
you were caught off guard. And then
Yeah.
it's bad
And
for her because she said it.
I wonder, like, it's, oh God, yeah. It was a, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like,
I
I
don't even
haven't
know.
talked to her since.
No, we have. It was nothing bad. Nothing bad after that. But I just felt bad in the moment. Like, I didn't want to say something that I didn't mean, but at the same time, it's a nice thing to hear. So I get it, It's like, So, yeah.
But he really changed, and he was even like crying out for her, and she's like, "What a pussy!" And like that was my thought too. I was like, "Damn!" Like she's in the next room. She didn't even leave.
Yeah, he was being a little bit of a baby about it. Like, look at him crying like a little girl. This is not
Yeah,
what she signed up for.
he was very clingy because when I first saw him, out of all the men, you know who the second guy, he's the husband of Trish. I thought he would react that way because he doesn't look very manly. He kind of looks like a wimp. So
Yeah,
like,
he looks a little weaselly compared to the other two.
yeah, so like it was surprising that the one that looks very manly, like the I don't know,
Outdoorsman. Yeah.
outdoorsman, like he can hunt and everything. He got like the worst of it. He got really clingy, and it was kind of like a role reversal of him being the woman and she being the man.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of, like, on what was the other, It's a Wonderful Witch movie? The Craft.
Oh yeah, the
When she gives her boyfriend the love potion, and he becomes obsessive and, like, aggressive, but instead of
Mhm.
aggressive, this guy becomes very emotional.
I think of that like I would never want to do a love potion on somebody because like I wouldn't want that done to me.
True.
I think of that, and sometimes I think about that. It's funny. I'm like, when I like somebody, I'm like, what if they did something to me? What if they put like a spell on me? And that's how I'm feeling, and it's not real.
You never know. I don't know. There's a lot of
Never
weird
know.
stuff out there.
There is a lot of weird stuff. So, but I've had that thought before.
It is. I don't think that's an what's the word I'm looking for? It's not an uncommon or a weird thought. I think we've all had that. Like, what is this person doing to me? Like, gosh dang.
But they do bring up sex magic, which I kind of believe in a little bit.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Because like one thing I have learned is like having sex on your period creates a soul tie with somebody. And it's like, oh, that's scary. Like
That will, you know, it's a very intimate, emotional spot, and you're going through a lot of hormonal changes right then and there. It makes sense.
and also like another thing I've like, I don't know if you heard about this, but like if you want to make a man, I would never do this by the way, but I've heard it before. You laugh, you're like, you've done it, bitch.
Like yes, I know exactly how, but I've never done
You
it.
know, you've done it. No, I've heard this, but it's like using your period, like the blood and putting it in somebody's drink and they'll become obsessed with you. Because like I would never want somebody to do that to me. So like I believe in karma, but I have heard that a lot. And in Spanish, it's called agua de tolvache.
Yep. Okay. Now you're sounding. Yeah. Now it's sounding because it's like that sounds familiar because there's a lot of like it passes over on so many different like cultures and religions and stuff.
Yes, because Italian, it's like putting the blood in the spaghetti for the guy you love. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I would never want like the opposite, a man doing something like that to me.
That's a good point. But in the other hand, you know, if you're already together, not just like a random person you met on the street, you already
That's
love
a
each
famous
other.
guy.
Yeah, he's like, oh my goodness, I don't know, Channing Tatum, boom, period blood. No, don't do that.
No, I believe in karma. It would come back to me somehow.
If you're already in love and like he finds out you did that, it's like, man, she really wants to keep me around. That's love right there.
You would be into that, Miguel?
I would at least try to see it from her point of view, and before I like freak out and run away.
Did you find out with the girl?
Luckily, no. I've never. If she did, I never tasted it. So really good.
But I have heard that, so I do believe in sex magic, like what that is brought up in the film, and I do believe in it. But like I do believe in karma, and I think it would come back to me 3 times. So I would not be cool with that.
That is the other half of it. Yeah, it is that. Yeah, whatever you put out there, expect it 3 times.
The craft. That's where I got it from. The craft. You get it back 3 times. How we talked about love spells and stuff like that. Because I would not want that to be done to me.
No. Yeah, that's a very good point. But I guess this guy, he got it 100% because he didn't live. The first guy, the teacher.
Yeah, she stays there. She wakes up. She's like a Stepford wife. She's like very perfect.
Yeah. She was like trying to play the role 100%. And it was kind of a role because she didn't even like him that much at the end.
I don't know why she was putting so much effort into it. But I do have a theory about it, and I'll get to it. Why she is like that, you know.
Okay. I'm down for it. Real quick comment. Lauren, I didn't watch the film, but I'm here to say hi. Oh, no worries, Lauren. Good to see you. Yeah, you're in for a 2-hour roller coaster of.
I thought it could have been cut more because it can get dull, but it is really beautiful to look at, and the story kind of fell off where I just wanted a little more action.
Yeah.
I would say as a horror fan, like do watch it and support her because like what she did is amazing.
Oh yeah. I would say it's less of a horror than like a drama and like a period piece almost. But still really good.
But there is murder.
There is murder.
There's witchcraft and like the satanic panic.
Well, at least like 4 people die, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least 4
they
people.
Get murdered. But I guess they do say he dies from a heart attack, right?
Yeah, they want to rule it as a heart attack. He did have the hallucinogens in his system, but he's been known in the town to like experiment with stuff. So it's not like they're not blaming her for sure, but they kind of have their inklings.
So he dies and she buries him. And with that, she makes a witch jar, which I Googled because I had no idea what that was. And she did that like for protection from evil spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which they do. She does use the period, the tampon.
Yeah, that and the pee. She pees in a jar.
And then the rosemary.
As pretty as it is, that's gross.
Rosemary to keep it fresh, you know?
I mean, you know, you got to keep it fresh. I get it. Yeah, but the love for her fell off for me when she peed in the jar. I'm like, nah, I'm not on board with that.
Like, use the toilet.
please. Gosh, gross.
Flush it, please, and wash your hands.
But I guess she was using it for a good reason, so I don't know.
She's
I love
trying to
the aesthetics.
recycle.
Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, I'll give it to her.
I guess so.
But yeah, she buries, and they do talk a lot about like duality, which was pretty cool. I thought, like with her outfit, she talks about how she lines her outfits with bright colors.
Yes, I love that. That was such a cool reveal. Because, like, she's wearing a black outfit, a black dress, a black coat. And when he's high, she takes off her jacket and just imagine seeing a rainbow.
That would blow your damn mind out there. Oh, my goodness.
But she burns the jacket with him next to the witch jar.
Yeah.
Which was a new concept. It was nice to learn about that. I never knew those existed.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought some of the true to historical Wicca was pretty cool in there throughout the movie. Especially the dude. Oh no, he comes in a little bit later because the next person turns out to be Trish's husband, which his name. Oh, what was his name?
Elaine and Trish have they have their little tea parties, which I love, and it's stunning. It's beautiful, and you can see Trish has like admiration for Elaine. Yeah, it's like she's so beautiful. She's always dressed like nice, so they talk, and she's like, "I'm gonna go," and Elaine's like, "Is your husband going with you?" And she's like, "No." Elaine is not a girl's girl. She is not a good person. Okay, she's not a good person. It's like that is a shitty thing to do to a friend.
Yeah. Yep. Because of like what that night, it's basically, hey, let me call your husband over, make him some dinner.
Like you said, he's kind of weaselly. Like I don't understand. The other two guys seem more like her type.
I think she just wanted someone who already like she knows to commit.
Yeah, he was with her for 10 years.
So that's probably what she was attracted to, I think.
But remind me, Elaine was married, but why did the marriage fail? Did he leave her for somebody else?
Yeah, I think that's basically what happened. Because as one of the detectives later on will tell her backstory was, her husband left her. Then she moves to San Francisco and joins her first coven. And
so
then
she was a burlesque dancer. I had to bring that up, and that's how she found the coven, which I love.
Oh heck yeah! So she uses those moves too later on.
I like seeing her dance because it was kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't perfect, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
I'd rather see something different than perfect.
It was very much her, it was very unique.
Because there's also there's these twins and they want to get into the coven, right?
Yeah.
And they were explaining, the coven was explaining to twins how like about sexual magic, but also dancing can be a sort of a, of a magic spell too.
And it definitely is. That's why you stay out of strip clubs, gentlemen.
I feel like it is. I honestly feel like dancing is a sort of magic spell because when I'm upset or something, I start to dance and I feel better.
I get that. Yeah. It's the motion, the movement, forgetting about everything around you for a second.
But like the Walmart version.
Wow.
Not the real version, like the Walmart version.
That could be a good version, Yeah. Walmart's got quality products. Nonetheless, I forgot all about the burlesque bar that they go to.
There's like 3 or 4 scenes with burlesque.
Yeah, and the townspeople are always talking about the witches in that bar.
Yeah, they're like, witches. What did they say? Go away, you witches.
Yeah, I was like, seriously, like that's the biggest problem in this area because that doesn't sound that bad.
But they do find the first body, and they do of the teacher guy, and he has a pentagram, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
And they found the witch jar, and that came out, and that's how the people know that it's related to witches.
Yeah, that was a good little tidbit right there. Because
I'm like, Elaine, you dumbass, you don't leave your DNA behind.
That's part of the ritual, though. You got to do it. Part of the
know,
religion.
but she left the jar right there. She couldn't hide it.
Maybe mix some bleach in there or something just in case. Mix the
Maybe.
DNA. I don't know. I feel like because they make a big point to show that they find her period blood spot on the bed too. I'm like,
Which
is that
I
necessary?
love, okay, because periods happen. And I'm like, I used to hate them, but then I'm like, you know what? I should be grateful because it means I'm not pregnant. They fucking suck. But it means I'm not gonna have a kid, so
That's a big thumbs up right there.
yeah.
Oh man.
So
But-
everyone should be happy about periods. It means you're not a parent, okay? They should be celebrated.
I like that attitude towards it. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though when I'm dying from pain from menstrual cramps, I'm like, at least I'm not pregnant.
There's those moments like it's really good to be a guy sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I
no, the
apologize.
thing is, you can have kids somewhere and you don't even know it. Like, I think I would be able to tell if I was pregnant.
Have you heard the stories? Or like there was a TikTok where the girl didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh, what was that show? I didn't know I was pregnant.
I didn't know I was pregnant. Yeah,
Like,
and they're
I
like,
just needed to
I was
take a
mountain
dump.
climbing. Yeah.
I was in the toilet. I needed to take a dump, and then a baby comes out.
Yeah, I didn't know they could cry down there. Like, oh, baby.
Like, what happened? I thought it was constipated.
Those freaked the hell out of me. Like, how would you not know? Oh.
Well, because like periods can come and go. Sometimes by stress, you don't get them.
Oh, okay.
So
And
like,
then I guess if you're not feeling anything happening, like, just yeah. Like, why would you? How would you? Yeah.
How would you know? But yeah, so scary. The only safe way is to have like 3 methods of birth control. The more
Makes
you
sense.
know.
Yeah, but I just recently saw a video like on TikTok of these people practicing ultrasounds to each other, like in a nursing class.
Mhm.
And then one of them was testing on her friend, and then they go down to her uterus, and there's a baby in there. And she's like, "Wait, what's that?" And they're all like,
No.
"Yeah,
Like, who's gonna tell her?
yeah." They're like freaking out. I'm like, "Oh my god!" Oh, so that's a scary movie in itself, right there.
It
That's a horror.
happens. It has happened. Or I've seen the pictures of the baby holding the fucking IUD.
Jeez,
You've seen
that's
the
terrifying.
picture?
No.
Where like you and I've heard somebody's sister got pregnant with the IUD as well.
Oh my god, it's the first thing that pops up when I type it in, like really quickly. Oh god.
Oh, you have to show the picture. Show the picture. Unless it's
Oh,
like
I don't know
cover the
if I could.
naked parts. but-
Oh, am I showing this?
yes.
I'm showing it.
honestly.
I'm showing it. This is so off topic, but it needs to happen.
No, because we're talking about sex magic. So it's like yes,
nothing
thank
magical.
you.
There's nothing magical about this baby. Oh god.
No, and my mom told me never to get the IUD because her friend, like, it got embedded in her and she had to get surgery to get the IUD and it can shift and it can move.
Oh,
I think people
no.
should know this. Like, if you don't want to have kids, you should know this.
That's a good point, though. Yeah, you should. This is something to definitely not keep secret. All right, I'm taking this off screen for.
Poor baby.
That is sad, but it's still a cute baby for the most part.
It is a cute baby. But I mean, I think when something's meant to be, like, there's no stopping it. Like, if you're meant to have a kid,
it's gonna happen.
No matter what. Maybe not this timeline, but little in the future. But like, when something's meant to be, it will be. So would it be.
And that's why you don't use love magic on random dudes,
No,
especially if they're already married.
Yeah, I couldn't believe she did that. Like, the second victim was Trisha's husband. And
Not
he's
true.
just there at the burlesque club, right?
Yeah, I think he's watching the show too, and she decides, well, we're gonna meet up now. So
Wait, I can't remember. Did she give him the love potion?
yeah, it was a different one though. Like it was, she was practicing different spells
Mhm.
because the first one was with the hallucinogen.
The teacher.
His was for
He
the
was
teacher.
like ready to go. He didn't even need that. He was like, "Fuck yeah, you're gonna cook me steak and like we're gonna fuck after." He was
I
like,
mean, I
Well,
don't know
okay,
many
so
guys who
I
would say
think
no.
that's one of the points of the movie, like a male fantasy, and I can get it from your perspective, because obviously I'm not a male, but like, is it the male fantasy to have a beautiful, gorgeous woman who will cook for you?
You
Like a
know,
steak.
yeah, like that's
Yeah.
not like the ultimate fantasy or anything. It's not like, oh my gosh, that's what I want every night. But that's totally awesome. I know exactly why he went right when he said
Yeah.
yes.
Because like
Like,
I make it clear with guys, I don't cook. I can make you toast. That's about it. Like honestly, but
okay,
they're okay
toast.
with
Yeah.
it. They're okay with it. No, I don't even make them toast. They give me food.
Wow.
I'm not that kind of woman that will cook for a man because I don't even cook for myself. So
That's fair. That's fair.
I cut myself all the time with the knives, and then cutting your finger takes such a long time to heal because I'm always washing my hands. So it's not
Oh,
worth it. It's
no, I
not
know
worth
how
it.
that feels. Yeah, not
I'm not
fun.
talented in that way.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's not everyone cooks, but yeah, that is like
The male
I don't know. I just
fantasy.
it's one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a pretty girl stops me in the street, it's like, hey, let's go up to your place. I'm gonna cook you dinner,
And
and
have the
then she
best night of your life.
like, first of
And she
all,
looked
I'd be
like that.
there.
And she looked like that. Because I think if it was somebody who didn't look like that, they'd be like, whatever.
Yeah, that's a hard one because I would hope I would be like suspicious and like not completely caution signs thrown to the wind, but
Mhm.
maybe.
Okay, I have a question. Do you think she really was a witch?
Oh yeah, she definitely was.
I don't think so. I think her power was her hotness.
I think well, I don't know. It could have been the hallucinogens. It could have been magic, but
I don't think
whatever she was doing, it was
well, she
working.
was fucking hot. That was her magic. And I guess that is a magic, but I don't think she was a witch. Like,
That is a power though.
that'd
That's
be an
definitely a power.
amazing power tap.
You
To be
call it.
that
Oh,
hot
like
and kiss all the guys.
I think you could do it too. Just please don't murder anybody, all right?
Don't use the devil's weed.
Please, yeah. Because that's
But
yeah.
because like the guys, it was like she used more drugs than witch power. So I think
Yeah.
she didn't have any powers. But except
Hmm.
for her hotness, because like she has her body is stunning. You see
She
her
was
like naked. Yeah.
very gorgeous. But I did like how they kind of like there was nudity and she did get naked a lot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like just shoved in your face. It was always usually
Because
somewhat covered.
yeah, because in the what is it, the coven meetings or parties? I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, a meeting or a ritual, yeah.
So they would do like dances naked and they would be around naked, but she would be covered, which I kind of like. I think that would be me. I wouldn't want to be naked in front of people.
I think that's part of it though. Like you don't have to be naked to be part of it. You just go at your comfort. And
I
if you
feel like
want
they're
to,
so needy. I couldn't be in a coven. I would like to be a witch, but like to go to all the fucking meetings and the guy, what was his name? The guy that was like the
oh,
head coven, fucking weird. He gave me creepy uncle vibes. Like he greeted her at the burlesque club. He like kissed her belly button and then just kept going up. And I'm like, and she even looked disgusted too. And I'm like, oh.
what was his name? Because yeah, he was
He was the leader.
yeah. I don't see. Was it Griff?
I don't know. He was just like the creepy uncle.
Yeah, he really looked like if you guys know who he is, but Anton LaVey, who started the Church of Satan. They look really similar. I think she like casted him because of that.
Probably. She had a lot of attention to detail, so it would make sense she would do that.
Oh yeah, but he was
But
definitely a little more. He was not being a cool guy with the whole situation because he was definitely like kind of pushing himself on Elaine.
yes, he really liked her. And I think part of the like I think we can go there, right? When she gets like the initiation.
Yeah.
I think she had to sleep with him in front of everybody, right? That was part of
Oh
it.
yeah, that
And
definitely
I'm like,
happened. Yeah.
oh, like of course you would want something like that. And she just looks like disgusted and like in front of she kind of has to take it.
Yeah, and it's just a whole group of everyone who's your peers, and it's just not good. It's not great.
I think I would not want to be in a coven. I would want to be a witch, but not.
Call it do your own thing.
Yeah, not in the coven, because like going to the meetings and then like you would have to sleep with that guy. I imagine for men too.
I hope not. I hope there's a different ritual I can
You're
do
like,
to join.
I wanna sleep with the love witch.
or any of the lady. I'd pick any of the ladies before I pick him. I'm sorry, any of them in the group.
Yeah, the love witch. I join. Have my life
Yes.
boy.
Then we're good to go. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool. But so at that point, the police, I believe, find the body about the same time that
And
she
her
starts her
tampon.
affair with the husband, right?
Yes, but he likes her too much. Like every time she's with the man, they get obsessed with her.
Fast, like really
So
quickly.
the sex magic. And she even says like she uses the sex magic to unlock the potential of love or something like that.
Ooh, 1 second.
What does that mean?
I'm going to find out because I want to copy that. Let me copy the link. I can't copy it on here. It's Morse code, and I can't.
I'm like, what does that mean? Because I have no idea.
I'm gonna look it up. Sort of. You keep talking. I got this.
So yeah, they find the body because when the teacher first saw her, he was talking to another girl, which I felt bad for the other girl. He just dumps her and goes to Elaine.
I would have too, though.
Yeah, she was hot. Elaine was the hottest. Like,
shit.
I declare war with you.
With Jupiter? I can't fight Jupiter. I can't even get people there. That's too far. This is unfair. And I have nothing to trade.
In the birth chart, Jupiter is a sign of luck.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Jupiter in the 5th house usually means you're going to have kids. Jupiter in the 2nd house means you're going to be very wealthy in your life, like lots of money.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, so it's a good sign to see Jupiter, whoever you are.
That. Thank you, Jupiter.
Yeah, blessings.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, we're saying that the teacher guy gets found because the girl he dumped was looking for him. It had been weeks or something.
Yeah, at least a couple weeks, she said. And like she was like, oh, we had lunch that day, and I saw him go off with a strange girl, which sounds like she was jealous. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would be jealous too. Come on.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But the real quick though, the sergeant also though, like the first time they show the main detective guy who looks like friggin' Prince Eric from Little Mermaid.
Yes.
He's like getting hit on by this other girl like right away.
He's like a Casanova.
I would say so. Yeah, he's a handsome dude.
He's very handsome. He's tall, dark, and handsome. He's that stereotype. And I think he was perfect for her.
I mean, it would have been if she wasn't a murderer.
Yeah, I mean, but out of all the men, I thought he was the most perfect match for her.
Yeah, he seemed like exactly what she was looking for. I don't know, but I guess he just wasn't into her.
Yeah, the hotness didn't work with him. So
unfortunate, yeah.
So that's why I think she wasn't a real witch.
That kind of makes sense then.
She didn't have any powers. It just happened that those men, like, they fell in love with her, plus the drugs and everything and the sex. It just like combined it into this thing.
It definitely worked for her for some, but not for others. At least I don't think it ever worked for her husband either. The first one, Jerry.
So she was abused by her husband and her father. Just by having a flashback scene.
Yeah, that was really like that. You could tell why she does what she does from hearing those backgrounds.
So one of the things was that he was telling her that she looked ugly, but also that he found a hot dog on the bed, and I was like, why is there a hot dog?
That was a little weird. I was like,
that was pretty weird, but I think they must have included it because her attention to details, it must mean something.
I wonder what though. That's a weird one.
I didn't get the reference. If it's a reference to something, I didn't get it. Like it flew over my head, but like it made me laugh when they said that.
Yeah, that was like what? Like she's not good at cleaning the house, but that's a weird one.
Yeah, it was. So I guess now that turned her into the Stepford wife. And I guess I'll go now into my theory about it because one thing, it's supposed to be like the 1960s, but you'll see cars from the like 2010 and stuff like that and cell phones.
Yeah.
So my theory is that someone put a spell on her, like the coven did. And that's why she sees things different than what they are. And that's why she's kind of like, she has this agenda to find a man, but it's probably something, a spell that they put on her. Because why else is there like everything's 1960s, but it's mostly when she's in the scene.
Yeah, it's true. Like, because when you look at the police department, or when the sergeant goes to do research, it's very modern and not very bright.
Yeah, it can be normal, but every time she's in the scene, it's more like 1960s and stuff like that. So, and then the way she reacts about having that goal, about having a man, I think there's still lots of parts inside of her that are her, but I think the coven probably did put a spell on her that she's just like very like a horse with the blinders on.
No, that makes a lot of sense to me too. Actually, it would be cool if they could explore that a little more, because it ends pretty abruptly.
Yes, because the ending of it, she really liked him, even though he kind of like wasn't into her. Like he didn't fall for the spell because I don't think it was real. She killed the one thing she loved truly, sort of. Yeah. But I think she's been under the spell this whole time, ever since she was with the ugly guy.
Maybe. I like that. I like that theory. I think that would be a really cool one.
And that's why she's not a good friend, and she doesn't have any other, like, she only has one goal in life, and not to have friends or anything like that, or do stuff for herself. Or she does them, but in a very robotic way.
Yeah, she seems very, like, even the plot is very, very cookie cutter. Everything she does is exactly for that situation. Even when she goes to comfort her friend, it's just like, oh, I have to go now because I have more important things to do.
She even leaves the ring behind that she got. So she starts dating the detective. Let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, what kind of a shitty detective would like start dating the person of interest? I was like, what?
That's one of those red flags that you just go straight for. I get it.
And
I totally get
I think
that.
that was like a red flag of him being just a Casanova. Like he just wanted her because she's beautiful, but they don't end up sleeping together, right?
No, I don't think so. And in all fairness, the lady police officer was just as pretty. So should have stuck with her, less murdering. Too. Yeah. And their whole like dynamic was like cheesy porn movie talk.
They
and I was
fucked
like, what
already.
the hell is this? Yeah.
I feel like they already fucked, but they know it's going down.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And
sorry, do you have kids around? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, actually, I think we have to wrap this up pretty quickly for tonight because everyone's home now. But not only that though, they do start dating, and then we talked about it for a brief second, but I want to make sure we mention this: the friggin' random Renaissance fair that they go to.
It was beautiful. They go horseback riding. And by the way, the thing that she was like, I found this card that I was going to meet the love of my life. You're it.
That is
like, she was like, do you love animals? And it's like the most like basic question. Like most people love animals, you know.
Yeah, I love animals. Why not? Yeah.
Like, do you think he's going to say no?
No, I hate animals. I hope all the dogs die. No, you love dogs. Everyone does.
And he was like, let's go horseback riding. And that's why it happens. And I couldn't believe he went out with the person of interest, you know?
I would have too. Yeah, I still would have.
Well, yeah, she was pretty hot. I think he just wanted to bang her before she went to prison.
But at least, yeah, before, you know, because that's more.
Before, because he's professional.
Yes, that's the word, professional. Yes. Jeez. Yeah, oh, man. But he doesn't, because he also has his suspicions and he listens to his partner a little bit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fall for her tricks, you know, kind of not. Because at certain points, he's getting there. But he definitely maintains and he stays strong. And I think the second to last scene, they're in the bar again, the burlesque show. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't love you. You're torturing all these people. You definitely did it. And he finally, he yells at her and she does not take it well.
Wait, let me get back real quick to the Renaissance thing. They have a mock wedding. And it was so beautiful. It looked like a fairy tale. And I think that's what it reminded me of The Little Mermaid. Now that you said he looked like Prince Eric. And I didn't know in Wicca, that's like a real marriage, the thing with the hand. I didn't know that. And it was interesting to find out. But I think he did marry her in Wicca.
Yeah. I think at least counts there. I don't know if it counts in like the court. So you don't have to pay child support, I guess. I don't know. So
With
you're
the
good.
witches. But after that, they meet up at the bar, right? And that's where
Yeah.
he says, like, he sees right through her. Like, her hotness didn't work on him.
Which good for him, because it would have worked on
But
more people.
it kind of did, because he out there, they're talking, right? And somebody listens and they say, like, she's the witch that killed the teacher guy. And people get upset.
Yeah, the whole, like, basically, I think it's supposed to represent the town is finally turning on the witches, and they're ready to
And they're
kill her.
saying, burn the witch. But I thought, like, the thing that put me off, but it kind of goes that way, like violence towards women. Like, they grab her, they start to undress her, and then the men he starts to, like, get ready to rape her. And I guess that kind of happens with women. Instead of violence, it turns into sexual violence. But thank God the cop was there.
Who and even though he knows that she's a bad person now, like he knows that she's a killer, still protects her. Yeah, so that was good.
I really like that. But instead of taking her to the police station, they go back to her place. And I was like, really? And he's like, he goes to her bed and he lays down on her bed like they're getting ready.
It's like, that's not smart, bro.
That's not smart. I was like, I thought you were going to take her to the police station.
This is the time, you put the cuffs on for the right reasons and get her out.
Not in the bedroom.
Not in the bed, yeah, no. And he messed up big.
He's like, it was kind of like when a couple have a fight and he just goes to bed just to take a little break. And I was like, why didn't you take her to the police station? But then and there, she's looking at the paintings, right?
Yeah. Because she even did one of her future where she's like, I don't know if it's supposed to be her or not, but she's holding a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's she finally gets her future, technically.
Yes.
So that was kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
So I think that's part of the spell too. Like, they probably ingrained it, but I always thought she wasn't a witch, and they put a spell on her, and that's why she sees things a little bit different, like more dreamlike.
It was always like when she goes back to her memories, there's like that little film over the camera almost, where it's like a dream sequence. And they use that same kind of filter.
Because she was kind of like an empty person. She was kind of a shitty friend. Well, she was a shitty friend. But I think the guy probably put something on her to make her like want all the men and destroy the men.
Maybe. I think that's still a really cool theory. Yeah.
Yeah, because like once I started to think about it, I was like, oh, that makes sense why she is the way she is. And I don't think we've ever seen a perspective of somebody who has a spell. I don't think you would know you're under a spell.
No, it would make more sense that if they're going to reveal that, it's like the very end, or we don't get a for sure answer. Like I think leave it ambiguous.
So I did like that it was something so different I've never seen before. I definitely recommend it just like once to watch it, because it's a little dull, but it is really beautiful to watch.
Oh, I think it's worth a watch. Yeah, at least once. Give it that chance. And
as a horror fan, I think everyone should watch this, because like the attention to detail, like everything the director did, like it's amazing. She was behind everything.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I would definitely give this a big, like, I would say like 7 out of 10. Again, if they just shrank it down a little bit, it would be so much better.
Would you like it as a short film?
I don't know. I think it could still be a feature, but just certain parts could be taken out.
2 hours.
Yeah, hour and a half tops, and you're good to go. But yeah, I didn't realize it was 2 hours. I was looking on Tubi.
Yeah, I was sorry. Once I said it, I didn't. Like, once I started the movie, I saw it was 2 hours, but, like, TikTok kept putting the aesthetics of it. And Suspiria is one of my favorite ones, but I am glad I watched it.
If we can find it, do you want to do Suspiria next week? The new one?
The new one? Is it on Prime? If it's
I'll
on
check.
Prime, we
I
can
hear
do
it's
Suspiria.
really good. Yeah.
Okay, because, like, the original one, that is, like, my top 3. I love Suspiria, like, the way it looks. And it has this kind of aesthetic. Like, it reminds me of the techno color, the Love Witch. Like,
heck yeah.
They did film on film. The Love Witch.
They did for this? Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did shoot on film.
Oh, I didn't even realize. It did look like it. but I didn't realize they shut because that's a difficult thing to do these days. That's very difficult.
Well, it was 2016, so I don't know if that was easier or harder.
I would assume a bit harder because you have that time period of like film is dying 100%, and then it goes up late. Probably around that time, but it's still very expensive either way. It's very expensive.
Do you do this? Because now I think of film like before COVID and after COVID.
A little bit, yeah.
This is
Midsummer
before
was
COVID.
good.
I like Midsommar.
Yeah, that was also like
Ari Aster.
Yeah,
That's my favorite film of his so far.
that is what the remake of The Wicker Man wanted to be, basically, with not Jack Nicholson, with Nicolas Cage, because that was bad. That was real bad. But Midsummer, even though there was a couple slow spots in there too, when they cranked up the heat,
slow burn. Yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, he deserved it. The boyfriend deserved it. I was like,
I was okay with it. Yeah, like
I was okay with it, but
sorry, buddy.
It was interesting. Maybe we should do Midsommar one day, because I like witchy stuff, and it would go into the is it cult or pagan or Wicca?
It's pagan rituals. Yeah, it could be considered witchcraft and whatnot. Just kind of how you determine the.
What's the difference between Wicca and pagan? Like,
oh man, that's a whole other conversation right there. That's another hour alone, because that's like, if you look at pagan as the top, like kind of like Christianity has all the different sects.
mm-hmm.
I think that would be paganism would be on the top of it, and then you'd have like Wicca, chaos magic, and different like forms of magical thinking.
The Love Witch was not paganism. It was not. It was Wicca, right?
That'd be more Wicca, yeah.
Wicca. Would Midsommar be more Wicca, or?
I think that would be more paganism, like pure paganism, because when you look back,
is it like cults? Because like that movie felt like a cult.
I see. I don't think it's a cult though, because like it's just an old religion, and we don't know it anymore because it's just so old. Like we forget what they were before. We had our big churches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be literally a pole in the middle of a field, and everyone kind of prayed to whoever they prayed to.
To the bear.
And you hope, you hope for a good harvest. It was no better or worse than just praying to Jehovah or Jesus or Muhammad. It was just a different form of prayer.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting how we all believe in something.
Yeah, more pagan than cult. So yeah, Eduardo knows what's up. I know Eduardo knows.
Wait, what did it say? Like, I agree with. Yep, the girlfriend was what?
Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. The girlfriend was the only one I liked, and she was
seemed to be whiny. I think she was acting pretty good after like having that horrible.
Yeah, for how rough her life was in that situation, she was pretty cool.
Yeah, because imagine having a sister like who's always gonna say like I'm gonna kill myself. And I've heard this, like, if you're suicidal, you're homicidal. And I think it's true.
I have not heard that. That's crazy.
Because, like, if you're willing to hurt yourself, we all go through depression, but if you're willing to hurt yourself, you can hurt somebody else too. Because, like, the pain is so big. And I think that was an example of if you're suicidal, you're homicidal.
I mean, it kind of fits, like, the gentleman who went to the tower in Texas. He killed his mom and his wife beforehand, before he started shooting, because he didn't want them to see what's going on. So it kind of fits in there, but I'm not 100% sure.
And I'm not saying all people that are suicidal, but I feel like there is a part, if you're willing to hurt yourself, you're not going to have that empathy for other people.
Yeah, I see what the guys in the movie try to make it seem like she was the bad person, but no. Yeah, she was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. They did not understand her, and I couldn't believe she stayed with that shitty boyfriend. The only good person to her was the guy from the cult or the paganism, whatever.
Yeah. But we'll save that one for another time.
Yeah.
We got to clear this out for today, guys.
Yes.
Marlene, it was amazing seeing you. Yeah, I know. It was amazing seeing you. Hopefully next week we have Lex too.
Yes, I wish she would have been for this one, but like it was a blind pick. I didn't even know what it was about. So I was like, I didn't know. Sometimes it's nice to do a blind pick because you don't know.
Oh heck yeah! This was a definite change of pace too, which I liked a lot.
Yes, it was interesting, and just to hear what the director did with everything,
Yeah, 100%.
it was inspiring.
I think that's probably the biggest feat of this movie is how much work she put in to get this to the point that it looks so amazing. And it really does.
I think this is a film it's better to look at than like actually follow the storyline. Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
But I mean, she put so much work on everything that had to.
Yeah, it is what it is. But at the same time, it is a very coherent story. It's not like she had big plot holes or anything. So
No.
it still was a well-built story. It just could have been like condensed a bit.
Yeah. But I still recommend it to horror fans. Like, watch it because it's stunning and it's like a different perspective of witches. It's more about the victim. Well, I think she is a victim and she's under a spell.
I like that theory still. I very much do. Right, I'm gonna let you go. I gotta get off this computer for a little bit, but I will talk to you all later. Marlene, I will see you Tuesday.
Yes.
All right, you'll have a good one. And I think we'll wait for Lex to decide the next topic, but we'll let you guys know ASAP.
Or if you guys have a movie that you want us to watch on Tubi or Prime.
Heck yeah.
I love Tubi Tuesdays.
Put them in the comments below, please.
Tubi Tuesday. It's
Tubi
my favorite.
Tuesdays. To be continued on Tubi Tuesdays. Boom.
Yeah, please Tubi, pay us. I love you, Tubi.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get
all right,
there.
people. Talk to y'all later.